I'm Madeline from the celebrated britishlarder.co.uk. Today I'm working with Twinings. I'm inspired by the Royal Wedding Blend to come up with two delicious recipes. The first recipe is a Victoria sponge with a Royal Wedding Blend icing. The second one is a rhubarb cupcake with a white chocolate frosting. For the Victoria sponge, first of all I'm going to cream, butter, sugar and vanilla pod together. I'm using a whole vanilla pod. For this particular recipe you can only use half, and the other half you can use for the rhubarb cupcakes. Now I'm going to sift the flour into the creamed butter, sugar and eggs. The sifting is important, it folds in a little bit of extra air. This will give the Victoria sponge an extra little bit of puff. Use folding movements instead of stirring. I'm going to just stick it back onto the machine for a minute. To bring it all together, I'm going to add a little bit of rose water and also a few tablespoons of the Royal Blend. I've added the Royal Blend, which is made with white Earl Grey tea, bergamot and rose. All these flavours will work incredibly well together, especially with the raspberry jam that I'm going to use to sandwich the cake together. For this recipe you require two 17cm cake tins. Sandwich cake tins are the best, lined with a little bit of greaseproof and sprayed with a little bit of butter spray, or alternatively a little bit of butter just to grease the tins. Divide the mixture in two. Preferably equal quantities is preferred. Mine is always one a little bit more than the other. Spread the cake batter all around into the little corners and try and get it as smooth as possible. Get that last little bit of batter in there. Take the cake tin and just give it a little pat to even it all out. A couple of taps will do. Okay? Our Victoria sponge is now ready to go into the oven at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Just in time for a quick cup of tea. The Victoria sponge is out of the oven now. I have left it on a cooling rack to cool. It's very important to leave it for a period of time. I recommend around about an hour to an hour and a half if you can wait that long. While the cake is cooling, get all the ingredients together to sandwich the Victoria sponge together. I like to use a raspberry jam made by a local producer, Suffolk Saucery. For the glaze I'm going to use 200 grams of icing sugar. It's important to sift it first because to get rid of all the lumps. I'm going to have a little bit of rose water that I'm going to add for a little bit of flavouring. Around about a teaspoonful is perfect. Then I'm going to use a secret ingredient, which is the Royal Blend, which is infused in cold water. It's approximately a cup of cold water with 1 tea bag. If you leave it to infuse in cold water, it will bring the flavours out instead of scorching it actually, and you get some absolutely beautiful flavours. Pour a little bit in at a time. Just gently mix it together until you get a really nice runny consistency. I want this glaze to be a drizzle, so it just folds over and drizzle over the cake. The cold tea blend with the rose water will give it a really nice fragrance. Perfect for a summer's day. I'm looking for a really good runny glaze. Of course, appearance is absolutely everything. I've made for this special cake a delicious and special rose petal sugar. Just sandwich the cake together, put the one upside down with the flat side up. Take some of the jam, make sure you give it a good stir. Spread a good quantity of the jam on the first layer. If it oozes out a little bit, it adds to the absolute deliciousness. Okay. That's a good squidge. We're now ready for afternoon tea.